This is how I ripped off Andrew WK and A Day to Remember and hopefully got away with it. If you're a songwriter, I'm sure you want to find a way to pay homage to artists that you love without just becoming a carbon copy knockoff. There has to be a way to show love for your favorite artist without just blatantly copying them or becoming a tribute band. It's actually not as hard as you might think. Let me show you. In the past, I've talked a lot about how I steal ideas for my songs, whether that's mashing up a kid's theme song with an Avril Lavigne song, dumbing down hooks from 90s pop hits, or just trying to write a song that's in the vein of 3 different pop-punk bands all at once. I would say about 95% of the music I write is just me stealing ideas from artists that I like, mixing it all up, and then pouring out my own musical cocktail. Would it surprise you to find out that I've been bartending for like 8 years? Anyway, in June of 2021, I fell down a deep rabbit hole. What was supposed to be a lighthearted video covering the Andrew WK conspiracy theory became a week-long deluge into the depths of a lunatic theory with more twists, turns, and contradictory evidence than your average episode of Lost. For about 7 days straight, all I did was read, talk, and think about Andrew WK. I'm sure it was pretty annoying for everyone around me. Whether I got to the bottom of the Andrew WK mystery is neither here nor there. What's most important is that I spent about a week listening to nothing but Andrew WK's music. Frankly, the man is a genius. Also, it turns out I'm quite the fan. With this reignited love of Andrew WK's music just boiling inside of my veins, I decided to try to write a song in the vein of Andrew WK. I even had the perfect title, Party Time. It all started with the lyric written at the top of a page in my notebook. I picked up my guitar, tuned it down, and wrote the most Andrew WK chord progression that I could think of. I knew the chorus would be this big repetitive chant, screamed by a huge choir. As I sat with the microphone in my face recording the demo, I could feel that the chorus was good, but not great. I needed a way to push the energy up to the extreme. Without much thought, I did something that I almost never do when writing music. I just hit record. As the chorus pounded in my ears, something came over me. The energy and emotion of the song flooded through my body, and I opened my mouth and screamed at the top of my lungs. Let's go! And that was it. A plug had been pulled out of my metaphorical sink, and from that point forward, the song poured out of me like a bloody nose on a white t-shirt. The main riff of the song followed by mimicking the quintessential Andrew WK melody of 3-1-4-1-5-1, a riff that's almost a trademark of the I Get Wet era. The verses would be this groovy, palm-muted riff, accompanied by lyrics that touched on the anticipation of a night out, waiting on your friends to call, and the excitement you feel knowing that it's gonna be a good night. The pre-chorus was this statement that I'm certain all of my fellow working class people can relate to. We're sick of working all day, no more responsibility. I could feel swaths of people screaming along with me as I poured my vocals into the recording software. As I hammered away on the guitar, my hands even slipped in a little chug-chug on the low strings. It seemed innocuous at the time, but I had no idea the effect that little chug would have on the entire song. Finally, everything led back into the chorus. This giant, repetitive chorus seething with the fun and energy that I wanted to portray. With a final nod to Andrew WK, I smashed away on a single staccato piano note that drove the section forward like a runaway freight train. I had done it. I had created my ultimate party song, a massive nod to Andrew WK from the depths of a monstrous rabbit hole. But something was missing. The song was good, certainly, but it wasn't great. It had so much energy and it captured the vibes of good times and partyings, but it still needed more. Just a little more. I paced around my room for hours struggling with this. I wrote parts and scratched them out, tried to write a guitar solo, but it's like my fingers were fat sausages that had never touched a guitar before. I sat listening to the song on repeat. It taunted me as if to say, "You will never write a great party song. You will never be as good as Andrew WK." I collapsed onto the keyboard, utterly succumbing to the realization that this song was a failure, destined to be locked away on a hard drive and lost to the sands of time forever. And then it hit me. Or well, I hit it. The keyboard, that is. As I lay my head down, I struck the keyboard, which began playing back the pre-chorus. That's when I heard the innocuous little chug that I had thrown in. My ears perked up, the shred of an idea sparked in my mind. I replayed the part again, and again, and again. I was so close to a breakthrough. I could feel it welling up. As I picked up my guitar, plugged in the cable, and chugged on that low D string, the spark fanned into a massive flame. It was so obvious. The reason I would never write a great party anthem like Andrew WK was because I was trying too hard to write like Andrew WK. The answer was so clear to me. It's something that I've known for years. I needed to inject something that was not AWK into the song, but something that still had that same level of fun. That's when I pulled up Spotify and threw on a song from A Day to Remember. An explosive breakdown pounded from my speakers, and I knew what I had to do. I had to put a breakdown in the song. This dynamic shift from upbeat, four-on-the-floor party rock anthem to half-tempo chuggy guitar breakdown was just the thing the song needed. I added some explosions and bass drops to the section to really drive it all home. The final touch, one more crowd chant that utterly captured the mood of the song. This would ultimately complete my feel-good party rock anthem. I had successfully paid homage to not one, but two artists that I love, and written something fun and exciting that I hope will bring a little bit of positivity to the lives of the people around me. I've written many songs over the years to help deal with my depression and my unhappiness, and while this is a fantastic outlet for any creative person, I do feel like sometimes we need to give some positivity back with our art. I believe that we create art not only for ourselves, but for the people that are unable to create their own art. We need to express all different kinds of emotions so that they can commiserate with us and not feel so alone. I hope that you will steal ideas from other artists and then mash them up and then put your own artistic spin on them. Because the purest way to find your artistic voice is to take all of your influences, put them together, and then view them through the lens of your own imagination. Please go listen to Party Time. I'm certain that it will be the perfect theme to your next crazy night out.
It's party time! Let's go!